Hello, hello, kiddos. We have a new post-it note today. It says, are you even drinking H2O and exercising? Email me pics to prove it. In this time of restriction of activities, I really want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You are getting outside and exercising and drinking plenty of water, okay? And I don't mean exercising like you think of like me exercising. You could just be riding your bike or playing a sport or even taking a walk, something of that nature to keep your body flowing and healthy, okay? So today you are going to need, make sure you have a pencil and paper next to you to take notes, okay? Today is pretty complex and it's very new, so I want to make sure that you have a good understanding, okay? We will take a couple days on this, so do not stress out. Our goal today is to find the interquartile range, which is also known as the IQR of a data set. And in order to get there, we need to recall how to find the median, which is middle. And we also have to recall what difference means, okay? I know some of us forget our vocab words. So difference means to subtract. You will notice that yesterday I gave you range first, okay? So it's like a stepping stone. So by now you know that range, you take the greatest number and the least number and you subtract it, and that gives you the range of the data, all right? Today we're gonna go a little deeper and we're going to be able to find the interquartile range, all right? It's pretty cool. So first, we need to dive into our higher order thinking, and that means comparing, right? In class, we're always comparing. I always have you compare. Okay, that helps us get a better understanding of things and we're able to apply them better. So we already did measures of center, which is mean, median, and mode. Okay, these are measures of center. Think, we have a data set and we want to find the center, okay? We have three different options because sometimes you want to use one over the other. And this all depends on if there is an outlier, okay? Remember, outliers are data values that are much greater or much less than the entire data set. So for example, if we had test scores and most of you scored in the 80s and 90s, and then one person was having an off day and scored in the 20s, if I used average, right, if I wanted to find the mean of all those scores, that 20 would really skew this answer. Right? It would pull it down. It would pull the average down because that 20 is going to be included in that data set. So some people will take that 20 out and then find the average, or it might make sense to just find the median of the scores, okay? So that would omit the outlier. Now we've been moving into measures of variation, okay? We did range yesterday, and now we're moving into the interquartile range, okay? So it does involve range, there's just a little more to it. And measures of center versus measures of variation, notice I put these together for center and I spread this out because measures of variation deal with the spread or the distribution of the data. And the same thing applies with these three options. The outlier could affect the answer. So IQR really eliminates the outliers and focuses on the interquartiles, okay? Use your decoding skills. Inside quartiles, you see that quart, 4, right? Like a quad, 4, so there's going to be 4 quartiles, and we're going to use the inter data. So that will eliminate the outliers on the outside of the data set, okay? And then we'll find the range. So it's pretty cool. Don't feel overwhelmed. This is very, very interesting. All right. So I will take a picture of this and put it up on our Google Classroom for a cheat sheet. Please remember this, and this is a great little cheat sheet to write in your notebook for next year, okay? This is still all statistics. We're dealing with data. So let's jump right into an example. Here's our data set, and we'll just say we could say these numbers represent anything, but in this sense, we'll say that these were scores out of 40 questions. So if there were 40 questions on a test, this person got 28 out of 40 correct. This person got 30 out of 40 correct, 36 out of 40, and so forth, okay? Or we could even say these were percentages, or we could say these are how many books you read in your lifetime. It could be anything, okay? But here's our data set. And if we have to recall how to find median, right? We have to do what first with this data set? We have to put them in order, okay? So other skills will jump into this and it'll be like, oh yeah, this is just the skills that I already know, but now it's in a certain order that I have to follow, okay? So it's really not bad today. First thing I do want to address is what IQR is and what quartiles are. Okay, so here we have IQR, and IQR stands for Interquartile Range, and it's the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. And I know this may not make any sense to you right now, but bear with me and know that we will get there. Range, right? This is the range of the middle half, just like what I was saying. We're taking the middle half of the data so that it's not affected by the outliers, okay? Quartiles. Quartiles, you take the data set and you divide it into 4 equal parts. So we're going to take this data and we're gonna break it into quartiles, meaning 4 parts, okay? And that's what we're gonna do first. So first step, order least to greatest, and then our goal is to break it into 4 equal parts. And you are going to watch me now. Let's see if I can do this efficiently. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so our data set, I'm going to put in order right now. We had 18, 21, 22, 24, 28, 30. So I'm just taking that data set and I'm putting them least to greatest. Okay, that's step 1. Don't worry, you know I will make a cheat sheet for the steps. Okay, so here's our data set. There we go. All right, so then we're going to want to find the median. Okay, we're gonna find the median. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 numbers, that's even. Okay, so if it's even, we're gonna have to find which one's in the middle. Okay, odd, when it's odd, that's super easy because there's always a middle. But even, that means that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. So we need to find the median here. What's in the middle of 28 and 30? 29. So that is our median, or what is better known as quartile 2, right? Because we're cutting it in half. So this is going to be the middle. Okay, so out of quartiles, which is 4, 2 is in the middle. So you're going to see me write it quartile 2. Okay, please take notes. This is new information for you. All right. If this was, I don't know, an off number and you didn't know, remember, you just add these together and then divide by 2, and that will get you the median. If you need a refresher on that, please go back to median, our Google post on median to refresh yourself on that. All right, so that was step 2, finding the median. Now we need to, I need to show you the lower half and the upper half. So now this data, right, not including 29, this data is my lower half. And this data, not including my 29 because that's quartile 2. So all of this is the upper half, right? Makes sense. So here's my median, cut in half, bam. I have my lower half and then I have my upper half. And I'm talking about the data, right? The data values, okay? So median quartile 2, lower half, upper half. So now we found the median of all the data. Now we take just the lower half and we need to find the median of the lower half. So that is not including quartile 2 or the upper half. We're just looking at the lower half, okay? We're chunking it here. So now I need to find the median of the lower half of the data. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, odd. That's my favorite because bam, there's always just one middle when there's an odd number. Okay, I'm going to cover this side up for you. Okay, remember, not including quartile 2. So 22 is my quartile 1, right? Or better known as the median of the lower half. Okay, so quartile 1. Right? Now we're going to do the same thing but with the upper half of the data. This is not including quartile 2. So we have quartile 1, we have quartile 2, and now we need to find quartile 3, not including quartile 1 or quartile 2. So here's our upper half. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ooh, boom, odd number. I love that. That means there's always just one median right there. Boom. 32 is considered my quartile 3. Okay? Or better known as the, I want to make sure it's the same, median of the upper half. Okay, so let's just stop right here and review real quick. We're not finished yet, but this was a lot so far. So if you're hanging on right now, that's perfect. You're doing a great job. So we had our data set, right? We had our data set. First thing I did was put it least to greatest, okay? Then I found the median. Boom, cut it in half, quartile 2. Pew. Okay, then I didn't look at this. I did not include quartile 2. And I looked at my lower half and I found quartile 1, which is the median of the lower half. Then pew, I need to move over to the upper half, which is not including quartile 2. It's just 30 to 37. And I had to find the median of the upper half, okay, which is quartile 3. So now I have quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. Notice these numbers, okay? If there were outliers, the outliers would be out here, okay? It would either be something like, I don't know, 1 or 2 or, I don't know, we could even go into negatives if the data dealt with negatives, right? Or up here we could have like 100, or it could be anything depending on what this data represents, okay? So these two numbers omit the outliers. They do not include the outliers, okay? All right, moving on here. one last step, right? This isn't too bad, not too shabby here. Pretty fun if you ask me. In order to find the interquartile range, you take quartile 3 and you subtract quartile 1. So this is really stressing the range part, okay? Remember, previous to this, I just exposed you to range. So you should recall that you're taking the greatest, which is quartile 3, and the least, quartile 1, right? Because we're talking about interquartile inside the data, right? We're taking the 50%, right? The 50th percentile of the data, and we're using that to get rid of the outliers, okay? So we're just focusing on the inside data, if you may say. Oh, there goes the leaf collector truck. All right, so quartile 3 is 32. Quartile 1 is 22, right? And my interquartile range, the range is what to what? It's 10, okay? So that is how you find IQR. It's really not that bad, right? You have step 1, least to greatest. You have step 2, find the median of the whole data set, which is quartile 2. Then you have to find the median of the lower data. Oh, why did I say data? The lower half of the data, which is quartile 1. And then you need to find the median of the upper half, which is quartile 3. And then you subtract quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Okay? You kids are super smart. I know you'll be able to do this. Oh, sorry. Whoop, there we go. All right. Send me some email pics if you're exercising. Maybe take a picture of yourself riding your bike or playing basketball with dad, mom, whoever you live with. Maybe even a sibling. That's super cool. And that's it for today, okay? So I hope you took notes. I will post our cheat sheets, okay? And have a wonderful day. See you later.